Hi, it's Christina from Real Choice, and it's time for another rant from my kitchen. And this time, sorry, love you guys, but this is aimed at Brandon and Mikey and the WalkAway people. Okay, love you guys, but you just need a little perspective here. Okay, now I shouldn't need to say this up front, but I will. The way Mikey and Brandon were treated as they were walking back to their hotel room after they were at the White House was completely inexcusable, and the fact that the media refused to cover it is absolutely inexcusable. But let me tell you guys, you think you're upset when you've been trying for a couple of days to get them to cover two gay guys getting gay bashed by a bunch of lefties. I've been trying for 35 years to get them to care about women in abortion clinics. They don't care. Once that woman walks in the abortion clinic, they don't care if she winds up with a hysterectomy. They don't care if she winds up with a colostomy. They don't care if she winds up getting raped. They don't care if she winds up dead. They don't care. Why are they going to care about two gay guys getting bullied? And I'm going to tell you a story. Back when I worked at Life Dynamics, our primary focus was litigation support. So we gathered information about abortion practitioners. And let me tell you, I saw stuff that make your hair curl. I would write it up, organize the material. I'd find leads. Mona would go look for more information. Yeah, and we're not talking, we're getting information from pro-life newsletters. And we would, but we would only consider that to be a lead. We insisted that we would not publish anything unless we had what we called a secular source. We got contacted by Diane Sawyer's people. Okay, and for those of you who are young, she was big name. She was the news. I guess you'd call her the Rachel Maddow of her day. She was the info babe. And she had heard rumors that abortion clinics would sell abortions to women who only thought they were pregnant. This is back before over-the-counter pregnancy tests were all over the place. And we're like, well, yeah, it's kind of a slow news day. Local reporters get bored, so they'll have one of their female reporters go to her doctor. He'll verify that she's not actually pregnant. Maybe they'll even have a male reporter pee in a cup. And then they document the abortion clinic selling her an abortion. Slow news day, okay? But, yeah, I did gather the information. I gathered the documentation on the places that have been caught doing that and verified that they were still open. And we sent that along. But we also said, here, we got some more stuff here. How about some places that are endangering women, that killed women with egregious malpractice or caused severe injuries with egregious malpractice? And they're like, okay, go ahead, send it along, we'll look at it. So I pulled together a dossier of the worst abortion clinic atrocities that were still open. And we sent that along. But while I was doing this, we heard from a nurse in California. Now, Scott took the call, not me, so I'm having to, I'm getting this passed through Scott. But basically, she said that she had always thought these stories about disgusting abortion clinics were just a bunch of right-to-lifers shooting their mouths off. She said she quit her job at an abortion clinic after 4 hours because what she saw was so disturbing. The place was filthy. The medical instruments weren't being sterilized. They were being washed using dish soap. And the thing that bothered her the most is that these women were being put under. They were getting general anesthesia while it was Lasanak Polonu. He was alone in the procedure room with them while they were unconscious, while they were anesthetized, which is a serious danger to their lives. Plus, he was locking the door. She's like, something bad is going on behind that door when he's in there with them. So we asked this nurse if we could give the copy of the complaint she was writing, because she wanted some help to put this together. She's like, I don't know who to complain to about this. I'm just so shocked. And she saw one of our malpractice flyers, so she contacted us. Scott helped her write the complaint, and with her permission, we forwarded this to Diane Sawyer before the medical board even had it. Okay, that's a serious scoop, right? So we sent the 10 most egregious, verified malpractice people, and this new case where it was just these allegations by the nurse. Here, you want, we can hook you up with this nurse and you can follow this story. And they contacted us. They called us back and said that Ms. Sawyer had decided this was, quote, a non-story. Okay. 2 gay guys getting bashed in Washington by a bunch of lefties versus stalwart provider of reproductive health services locking himself alone in a room with anesthetized abortion patients and using unsterilized instruments on them. They didn't even care about that. You think they're going to care about you? And the story broke. A woman came forward. Yes, exactly what you think was happening was happening. She regained consciousness to find Akpolonu raping her. He gave her another shot to knock her out again. When that woman came forward, other women came forward. No. Did this get covered? Yeah, it was a local story. It was a local story. Who cares? Women being raped on the abortion table, and they don't care. They're really going to care about 2 gay guys getting nasty things said to them and their phone swatted out of their hand when they don't care about rape? And we can jump ahead to the Gosnell story. You're fairly smart with it, guys who stay on top of it. Do you guys even know who Kermit Gosnell was? For those of you who don't know, he was this abortion doctor in Philadelphia who was running the filthiest abortion clinic imaginable. I spent 35 years studying this, and I gotta tell you, Gosnell's was the dirtiest. He won that prize, and let me tell you, dirtiest abortion clinic's a pretty low bar, but he made it. He had cats crapping on the floor, flea-infested cats wandering the place and crapping on the floor. The patients, the bathrooms, there were so few bathrooms that patients were relieving themselves on the floor and it wasn't being cleaned up. His staff were not trained. Some of them were high school dropouts. His anesthesia chart to dope these women into a stupor. The anesthesia chart was drawn up by a 15-year-old girl that he had trained for 20 minutes. Right? And the medical board knew how bad it was and did nothing. Did nothing. And we have Karnamaya Mongar's death. This woman was a Bhutanese refugee who had spent 20 years in a refugee camp in Nepal in a freaking mud hut. Gets to America 4 months later, she's dead because a reputable abortion clinic referred her to Gosnell. His untrained staff doped her literally to death. There was, and this is common in abortion clinics, no functioning emergency equipment. I see it all the time. They don't cover that. You're really surprised that the media that won't cover that aren't going to cover 2 gay guys getting screamed at. So the staff were untrained. The equipment didn't work. This is normal for abortion clinics. This is nothing outstanding. This is not anything that would even get my attention. When they finally did call the ambulance, it took the medics over an hour to get her out of the clinic because the place was so cluttered. You couldn't get a gurney in. The emergency exit was padlocked shut and nobody knew where the key was. They had to get bolt cutters. Now, these are the pro-refugee, pro-minority, pro-woman people who totally don't care about this refugee, this Bhutanese refugee being doped to death. And they're going to care about 2 gay guys getting yelled at and their phones swatted out of their hands? And the media's like, oh, Gosnell was an outlier. He worked 1 day a week at a National Abortion Federation clinic. Women who researched, I want to have a safe abortion. Oh, National Abortion Federation, cream of the crop, would go to a National Abortion Federation clinic with a National Abortion Federation sticker in the window, National Abortion Federation logo on their website, and the National Abortion Federation people in this nice, clean-looking clinic would take her money, do her informed consent, and hand her off to Kermit Gosnell. And he'd do, these late abortions are multi-day procedures. He would do the first procedure, inserting laminaria, in this nice, clean, sparkly nice looking National Abortion Federation clinic and then have the woman report for the rest of her abortion to that flea infested house of horrors in Philadelphia, where she'd be doped within inches of her lives by these untrained staff, wrapped in a dirty blanket, left to moan on a blood-stained recliner among the fleas and the cat feces. And the media aren't reporting that. I mean, the abortion that ended in the murder of baby boy A. Baby boy A was probably 32 weeks gestation. That is well into viability. That's a feeder and grower. That's a baby that you just put in the incubator, keep him warm, and make sure that he eats. Okay? He's got the same survival rate as a full-term baby. The abortion that ended in that baby being born alive and getting his spine severed was started at a National Abortion Federation clinic. And the mainstream media are not reporting that the National Abortion Federation was involved in Gosnell at all. When forced to cover the Gosnell story, which they did very reluctantly, they still passed along the lie that he was an outlier. Okay, this is a 32-week baby murdered. His mother, a teenage girl, her life endangered when she went into a National Abortion Federation clinic. Teenage girl being handed off by the most reputable abortion provider in America to Kermit Gosnell, and the media doesn't report on it. And you think they're going to get outraged about two gay guys getting screamed at and their phones swatted out of their hands. They don't care if women get maimed. They don't care if women get raped. They don't care if women die. They aren't going to care about two gay guys getting bullied. Get over it. They're never going to care.